Yep. Here we go. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Always be learning. Listen, there's this nonsense out there. There's kind of this feeling, this bullshit that the world teaches, in which it says, it kind of insinuates, it doesn't say it directly, but it insinuates that learning stops when school ends. That couldn't be further from the truth, all right? Learning, they insinuate, what's implied by our system is that learning stops when school ends. And I got news for you, breaking news for some of you folks listening to me right now. When school ends is when the learning actually begins, all right? You have to unlearn a lot of the habits and a lot of the shit that they taught you in school in terms of, oh, as soon as you graduate, you have officially made it. As soon as you put the cap and gown on, you officially made it. You have to unlearn that shit. Unlearn that concept. Forget it. It is not the truth. It has left a lot of people heartbroken, depressed, and it has ruined, that mindset has ruined many lives. The learning starts when school ends. I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, and one of the things about this new center that I teach at, it's called the Creative Center of Education. One of the things that I love, apps, I've only been there for coming on, it's going to be 2 weeks tomorrow. It's going to be 2 weeks next week. Not even 2 weeks yet, and one of the things I've absolutely, so we're still kind of in the honeymoon phase, I understand that, but one of the things that I know I love, that I know that will never get old, is the fact that I am surrounded by so many books. One of the things that the center prides itself on is making sure kids are able to read by kindergarten, like read chapter books by kindergarten. They make sure that happens, all right? So I was there, the kids are off for winter break. We as teachers still have to come to work and do some office work and stuff like that. And I was there yesterday catching up on some things, or I was actually organizing books and fiction, nonfiction. And one of the things that's absolutely beautiful about doing that, me, myself, being an author myself, it just allows me to get in touch. It gets me in touch. It puts me right back in my mindset in terms of how am I going to move my books? How am I going to sell my books? How am I going to, strategize and sell more, put this bundle together? I mean, so much. I could see myself growing in so many different ways at this center. It's not even possible for me to put into words right now, all right? But anyway, so I'm organizing books, and I noticed a book that was sitting on the shelf from an author whose name really just kind of struck a bell. Her name is Judy Blume. And I looked at the book, I'm like, yo, that name is kind of triggering something. I heard that name somewhere, right? So I looked her up, and I remember Charlemagne the God, another one of my virtual mentors, author of a book titled My Blackness, Be Grateful for My Blackness, or something like that. It was like, be powerful blackness or something like. He was basically talking about, it was the name, it's great, it was either grateful for my blackness, unapologetically black or something like that. He has a ton of stuff out, but the book, I did a book review on it, and it's the title of it, the official title of it is slipping my mind right now. But anyway, I went, and the reason I'm bringing him up is because once I heard the name Judy Blume, I looked her up, and I realized that she was one of the people that Charlemagne mentioned when it comes to who he wishes he can interview. Some of the people who he wishes he can, I mean, you're talking about a guy that has absolutely, he's made it. He's made it in the broadcasting world, has so many books out that I'm forgetting the titles of them. He has made it. And they asked him, who do you want to interview that you have not yet interviewed? And he mentions Judy Blume, who is a children's book author who writes about little white girls going through puberty and shit like that and stuff. And I was like, what? Judy Blume, of all people, that you wanna interview? So I did a little more research. I dived even deeper into it, and I realized why. That there were times in which her books were actually banned by people. I realized that she had gone through it. There were times in which she didn't think she would make it. I mean, she went through 3 marriages. She's living off of her literary sales in Key West and with her 3rd husband and all that kind of stuff, and has just done incredible things. And the thing that got me as I was watching her interviews and how famous of an author she is, I realized, you know what, man, as much as I've done, as much as content and much things have I created, there's still so much to learn. And I'm a 34-year-old man. I'm a 34-year-old man. I'm still learning. This is long after I graduated school. And it brought me to this message, this thought, this move swiftly thought. One of the ways in which I promote my stuff is through the move swiftly thought, the daily move swiftly thought, the move swiftly podcast, the boxing lessons, the bundles, whatever it is, the makeitmove.com, all those things. And I realized, hey, there's still shit you can be learning. It's a lifelong learning process. And I think I'll close them out. I'll drop the mic with this one. It was Dre Baldwin who once said in one of his podcasts about book publishing, goes, look, selling your book is a lifetime job. You'll be doing it for the rest of your life, all right? Understand, learning does not stop just because school ended. Make sure you take that message home today, all right? Like I mentioned in just a second ago, makeyourmove.com, makeymove.com. That's where you can purchase everything. If you're listening to this on the Move Swiftly podcast, make sure you hit the follow button, that website that I just gave you. You can also listen to the Move Swiftly podcast on that website as well. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.